All right, so did you have fun with the scavenger hunt? I hope so. I enjoyed it, even though I failed miserably. But I thought it would be something kind of fun. We do that again with you guys before um, we get too far, with our year being gone. But then we have to find something totally different. So that'll put another edge to it. I can't use the same things. I have to find something different than what I had before. So we might do it again, and then you have to use a different object. You can't use the same one that you used for whichever one you got, if that makes sense. Anyway, but did you happen to recognize the fact that there, here, there, that there were shapes even there that I could have used very easily? And for some of those, like, oh, where's a square? Let me see. Right there. Where's a rectangle? Right there, or even right over there. Like, what? Okay. So anyway, you guys probably could have helped me out and probably could have been like, Miss Monroe, look behind you or look above you. And then in my dining room area, there's a circle that at the top didn't just woo. So anyway, hopefully you did better than I did, but I think I might challenge you again. And like I said, we'll have to do different things this time than the last time, but we'll see. But so just be prepared, be thinking, just in case I do come up with something new. All right, but we're going to review for our arithmetic. So the first thing I want to review with you is our chart, actually, or not even chart, our line graph. You remember that? I want to make sure that we get the line graph down and know exactly how to use it properly. So let me just, sorry, give me a second here. There, I feel like that's close enough, and then hopefully you'll be able to see it all. All right, so our first number in our line graph is 5, 3. So remember, when you're doing your line graph, what do we do first? We have to walk out of the house first, out into the hallway before we go up the stairs, okay? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, okay, right here. So 5, 3, I'm going to put my dot right there on 5, 3. There's 3, and there's 5. Then the next number I have is 10, 10, my next plot point. So I go over 10, which is the last one that I have here. And then all I have to do is count up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's where I put my next plot point. By the way, when you put your plot points, third grade, especially on your math pages or your tests, they usually have letters there with you for you. I'm not going to put letters on here because I don't have, it's not laminated, so I wouldn't be able to erase them. But put your A next to the dot. Put B next to the dot. C next to the dot. Make sure, don't you dare, you put all of those next to the dots so that you'll know where A, B, C are. Okay, so that's important. All right, my next plot point is 4, 1. So where do we go first? We go out the door, 1, 2, 3, 4, across to the stairs, and we go up 1 flight. So across and then up. So 4, 1 is my next plot point. The next number that I have is 8, 9. My first thing I do is go out of the door and walk down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I go up the stairs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9 is my next plot point. Then I have 3, 2. So with 3, 2, I go out of my door 1, 2, 3, find the stairs and go up 1, 2. And I go to 3, 2. Then my next plot point is 1, 15. 1, 15. So I go over out of my door, go 1, and then I go all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that's where my next plot point goes. And then my last plot point is 7, 7. Yes, so I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I go up the stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And so that's what you're going to be doing when you're doing plot points. One of the reasons that you need to put your letters is so that when you connect those plot points, you know where to start and where to go. Some of you, like, they had the pictures that you were supposed to be drawing for the plot points, and we didn't quite get the pictures because we were just kind of going, okay, down, up, you know, and kind of around. No, when I started with plot point 5, 3, then I need to start with 5, 3, and then I need to go over to my 10, 10, and then I would come back down to 4, 1. Now this is like very different. It's not what you're going to have on your paper. They're actually going to make sense. And then I would go to 8, 9, and then I would come down to 3, 2, and then do my 115, and then finally come down to 7, 7, okay? But that's a little different. This is a little different than what you had on your page, but that's why you put the letters, so then you know where to draw your one line to the next, to the next, to the next. But don't forget how to plot your points. You go across first, and then go up, okay? So think that through carefully. All right, and then we are going to do our multiplication. So we're reviewing it again. So this is another chance for you. If you weren't sure of it the first time, well, now you have another chance to try to figure that out, and it'll be an easy thing for you. So the first thing we do is cross out, or not cross out, but put our finger on the tens place, because that helps our number to look more manageable, because we can do 34 times 6. We know how to multiply those two numbers. We've done things like that before. So 34 times 6, we always use our ones place first. We go down and then across. So down 6 times 4, 24. My 4 comes down. My 2 comes on top with a plus sign, right? And then I multiply across. 3 times 6, 18 plus 2, 20. Very good. And then, yes, I heard you. 0. 0. Put your 0. Don't forget your 0. 0 goes in the ones place. And then I have to cross out my carryover. What I carried over, I cross that out, because now I put my finger on the ones place and I multiply everything on the top times 1, or times 10, because it's in the tens place. So it's 34 times 1, or 34 times 10, which is going to equal, right? So let's go ahead. 4 times 1, 4, and 3 times 1, 3. And is that what 34 times 10 equals? Sure is, 340. After I have my answer for everything on the top times my ones place here, everything on top times my tens place here with my 0 added in, then I simply add my partial products. 4 plus 0, 0 plus 4, 2 plus 3. 544 is our answer. Quick and easy, right? Painless. Okay, let's look over here. 55 times 35, but the first thing we're going to look at is 55 times 5. So 5 times 5, 25. My 5 comes down. My 2 goes on top of the other 5, so that when I multiply 5 times 5 again from my tens place to my ones place, then I add that 2. So 5 times 5 plus 2 equals 27. 275. 55 times 5 equals 275. After that, 0. Yes, my 0 has to come underneath my ones place. And then cross out my carryover so I don't try to carry it over again when I'm multiplying 55 times 30, 55 times my 3, okay? Because I don't want to get that confused because I already used that. So cross out the carryover and then multiply everything on top times my tens place. Start with the ones place, 5 times 3, 15, put my 5 down, and my 1 comes on top. Just like if I were to multiply normally 55 times 3, my 1 comes over the other 5, and I already crossed out that 2 so I won't get confused. 5 times 3, 15 plus 1 this time, 16. And because there's no other place to carry over, I write my 16 right there. So now it's 1,650. That would be my answer. Then I simply add my partial products. 5 plus 0, 5. 7 plus 5, good. 12, carry over my 1. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 6, good. And nothing to carry over, so then bring down my 1, and my number is 1,925. Okay, do you see that? So add the ones place, or multiply the ones place first, and then cross out your partial product, put your 0, then you multiply by the tens place, 55 times 3 or 55 times 30, because it's in the tens place. Let me move this down so you can see the bottom 2 there. All right. 61 times 44, too much. Too much for our brains. So let's just break it down. 61 times 4. Let's do 1 times 4 first. Good, it's just 4. There's nothing to carry over, so don't carry over if there's no reason to. Sometimes we're like, oh, I got to carry over. Because no, we don't have to carry over if there's no number to carry over. Then we do 6 times 4. And 6 times 4 is 24. And again, there's no hundreds place to carry it over yet. But we just put it right in front. And we leave it as it is. So 61 times 4 is 244. Then 0. And yeah, some of you are going to say cross out, but there's nothing to cross out, right? Because I didn't have anything up there. Now I put my finger over the 1 spot and I simply multiply everything on top times my tens place. 61 times 4, or 61 times 40, which is why that 0's here. 1 times 4 is 4 again, and 6 times 4 is 24 again. So I'm just going to write that. The only reason why they look different is because this is the tens place, so I have a 0. So it should be the same number because 61 times 4, we said, is 244. 61 times 4 is 244, but this is 40, so we have the 0 in the ones place. Okay? And then we simply add 4 plus 0, 4 plus 4. 4 plus 2, 2 plus 4, and 0 plus 2. Yes, 2,684. Okay. And then we have our last problem. We multiply 0 times, we do 70 times 8, so we start with 0 times 8, and then 7 times 8. What is it? Yeah, you better know. 56. Very good. 56, 560. Then bring down that 0, so there should be a 0 in the ones place automatically. Then I multiply everything on top times 9. 70 times 9, 0 times 9, 0. And 7 times 9, 63. Excellent. So we write 63. And then we're simply going to add my partial products. Let me see that. I think so. Yes. Add my partial products together to get my final product. 0 plus 0, 6 plus 0, 5 plus 3, and 0 plus 6. That's it. That's all there is to it, third grade. So those are totally doable things for you to be working on and knowing how to do. So now this is a few days in to learning how to do those. So I really want you to think carefully about them as you're working on them on your page, because that being able to see it that many times now should give you kind of that confidence to have in that. Ooh, I didn't realize what time it was. Okay, so Write the products for section 1 on page 299. Then find your averages. Please do that carefully. You know how to find that. Write those numbers going down, add them, and then count how many numbers you added together. The first one and the second one have the same number that you added. How many numbers together? Divide that. The biggest problem I said we're having with averaging, a lot of you are missing it only because you're adding incorrectly. So don't add incorrectly, and then make sure that you're dividing by the number of add-ins. How many numbers did you add together? If you have 19 plus 73 plus 84 plus 112, that's what you divide by. So think carefully. Section 3, divide and check. You know how to do divide and check. Don't, kind of leave it to the side or not do your best on it, because it's not going to help when we get to harder division. So some of you didn't start off with the proper foundation steps in the beginning of division because we didn't want to take our time to do it right. Now this is harder, and then we still have something else, division, that we're going to learn to help you for next year. So please take your time to learn that division. Go back, look at the old division, any video that I have division in, and just really listen to it, because it's going to help you. Section 4, solve the story problems. Look at those carefully. Section 5, follow the signs. Section 6, set the thermometers. And then you have your little homework section where you're writing the quotient, but write the remainder as a fraction. And some of you, again, are just writing the number. Even though there's a remainder, you have to write the remainder as a fraction, or else it will be wrong. All right, you can do this. So do well on this page and have fun with it, and I will see you next time.